if there's anyone on this team that likes to chirp his teammate and his friend, get under his skin the most, it is Tom Wilson. We know the relationship that he and Logan Thompson have, a great one, not just teammates here on the Capitals, but now teammates at the Olympics as well. And I think that day they got announced too, Tom said to Logan, all right, I got to watch how much pasta you eat over there in Italy. So great to have the two of them there. But I mean, just look at the numbers here with Tom, not just the stats, but again, physicality, leadership. He is the whole package, and he'll bring that to that team.
Yeah, he definitely is. And look, I know the selection of Tom Wilson was probably considered outside of D.C. controversial, but if you look at it objectively, he deserves a spot on this team. Look, in terms of points per game, even though he's missed some time this year, he's still 12th. They take 13 forwards, so I mean, he deserved a spot on that team. But what really sets him apart, and look, any Caps fan, we're talking to Caps fans, you guys know what sets him apart. It's the fact that he is a physical force. He's 6'5", 6'4", 225 pounds, gets around the rink like a much smaller player. Look, if you are a defenseman on Sweden, every time 43 is on the ice, you're going, oh my God, where's 43? And you're going to move that puck a little bit faster. You're going to be more prone to making a mistake, getting out of your own end, because Tom Wilson is bearing down on you. Look, there's no fighting in the Olympics. We're not going to see what we saw in the Four Nations. Gloves aren't going to be coming off. But just that level of deterrence and physicality, I think in a short tournament, Katie, he's the type of player who can make a really outsized impact on a game because, look, let's say Canada's down in a big game. You know who can turn the momentum? LT with a big save, but Tom with a big hit at center ice. The crowd will lose its mind. The other team will go, uh-oh, 43's come to play. And that can just change the momentum of the game without dropping your gloves.
We saw it in Montreal last year in playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Hit that clean hit, hard hit, but clean, and that led to a Capitals goal.
Evans went flying.
And so there's so much more to him than just the goals, the assists, things like that. But when you think about it, he can play in every situation as well. What makes Tom Wilson, though, so versatile?
Yeah, the fact that he's also worked hard at his game. So, I have the advantage of perspective, right? I covered him since he came into the league. And when he came in, he was a young guy who literally had to fight his way into the lineup. That was his job, fourth line fighter. He went home every summer and added something else to his tool belt. He got better and better every single year. He got stronger, he got more physical, he worked on his finish, he worked on his passing, he worked on his skating. I mean, when I saw him his first year, I was like, that's a pretty good player. I see why he was a first-round pick. He needs to work on his skating a little bit, and maybe there's some more there. And then when he signed that first big contract, I remember the reaction around the league was like, oh my God, what are the Caps doing? Why are they giving this fighter so much money? The Caps knew. I think the people who are around the team every day, we knew. We knew that there was a lot more runway there, and he was going to continue to improve. And that's what he did. And for me, it's the size, it's the skating ability, but it's also kind of the fearlessness. He plays on his toes with his face kind of over his skates. He is looking for contact. He is looking to change the game with his physicality. But he can also score goals. He can also set up goals. He can play on like you said, on the power play. He can play on the penalty kill. When I think of his role on Team Canada, like, is he going to be in front of the net on the power play? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. He's probably going to be a penalty killer who's going to play bottom 6 minutes. But again, it's that physicality. He's going to be able to change the game with a big hit or, again, even a big goal because he can do it all.
Well, we have the pleasure of chatting with him almost every single day, but a few weeks ago, before the Capitals embarked on the 2026 Mentors trip, we had the treat of seeing his brother, Peter Wilson. Tom brought his brother and his dad on that trip, and Peter was gracious enough to catch up with us.
All right, let's get right to it. Tom Wilson representing Team Canada. Woo. Wow, how cool was that?
Very, very special.
Yeah.
Again, it was definitely like a pinch me moment, and I grew up thinking about the All Blacks in rugby and what it means to make that team, and sort of a comparable for Team Canada, and really special just to get that call, and I know it means a ton to our family.
And if I could follow up there, he was left off the Four Nations team, which I think a lot of people here in D.C. were like, what gives? Yeah. What's going on there? Yeah. Did he know that he had to be really, really good at the start of this year to earn this great honor playing in the Olympics?
Definitely. There was a bit of have a great start to the year. Honestly, have a great summer in the gym. Again, I went in a couple times with him into the gym and tried to keep up with him. Definitely didn't. But again, shout out to Matt Nickel and his team in Toronto that got him ready for the year. And got him off to such a good start.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome.
We see how competitive and fiery he is as a player, obviously why he is on Team Canada this year. But you were telling us there's 3 boys, 3 brothers. So has he always been like that? What was the dynamic growing up?
Yeah, he's always been super competitive, wanting to keep up with me and my buddies. I'm 5 years older, so our group of friends would, not exclude him, always include him in our fun. So he definitely got bumped around a little bit early on, but lots of fun.
Toughened him up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. You see a lot of guys who make it to the NHL. They always had that older brother that was kind of hard on him. Was a little more physical in the stick and shoot. And I find sometimes they make him into goalies. Did you ever make him strap on the pads when he was real little?
No, he was not about that. He was like, I want to play out, I want to score goals, throw body checks and that kind of stuff. I actually played a bit of mini sticks net back in the day to have some fun.
When did you look at Tom and go, this guy might be really, really good and maybe might be playing on television one day?
Yeah, I like to say I knew pretty early.
Okay.
Just on like our backyard rink and stuff, and the competitiveness, and just like not wanting to stop playing and loving it so much at every level. But there was certain games against the London Knights in Plymouth when he had a hat trick in the playoffs, and I was kind of like, there's another level to this, and Tom's going to get there. So definitely early on, like backyard rink stuff, I was you had a bit of an eye, but in the OHL and just setting himself apart there was definitely one.
When you watch Tom and you watch the Capitals games, do you still watch in the mindset of a player? Do you guys talk after like the X's and O's? Do you like still get almost emotional and fired up yourself about it? Like, how do you view his games?
Yeah, definitely. Again, like you want safe and fun hockey. Again, as a family member, you want everyone to just play and compete. But honestly, like, you get fired up. You can't not. You root for the Caps. You root for the team. Even when he's not playing, like we were at the game last night and, wanting the boys to do well. So it is a bit of a different approach watching it. But, we don't break down games or anything. We're not going over breakouts or anything like that. But it's a lot of just like, how are you feeling? What are you thinking? Like just emotional check-ins more than anything.
Okay, so when you're watching on TV or you're sitting in the stand and he throws the gloves off and it's time to dance.
The heart rate goes
right up. I always say, what's that like?
Oh, it's scary, right? Like it's never like it's your family member out there competing, but I played rugby growing up. I played hockey growing up, so the physical side, and like he can take care of himself. He's trained to do this, and it's nothing really too out of his comfort zone, but it always gets you for sure.
So the last time I talked to you, Pete, it was in Toronto right after the Caps had won the Stanley Cup. So he's already checked that box, a big box. How cool would it be if he helps Canada bring home the gold?
Yeah, a little bit superstitious. So we're just gonna say we're excited for a good tournament. And again, it would be the best. Honestly, really special.
Well, a very proud brother, and rightfully so. But Tarek, over the years, you've had the chance to catch up with his brother, his dad. They're such a good family, such a hockey family. So they have to be so pumped for the coming weeks.
Yeah, and one thing Peter said there was, Tom just loves representing Canada. Like Canada is just in his blood. This is the first chance that Tom has had to really represent his country on the grand stage, right? He didn't play World Juniors. He did some stuff early on, maybe as a 17-year-old in some regional Canada stuff. So, there aren't many players who didn't play like World Juniors and have already played like World Championships who then get a chance to play on the Olympic team. So, good on Tom for making that jump. And Peter was really kind of modest about this. But I'll tell you, over the years, talking to players who make it to the NHL, so many of them have an older brother who said, you know what, little guy, come with me, come to the pond, come to the rink with my older friends, and you can jump in every other shift. And that just accelerates their growth, right? So he said he's 5 years older. So when Tom was 11, his brother was 15 or 16, and he's out there competing against, much bigger players.
And I'm sure they're giving him no mercy
absolutely
either. Brothers are competitive.
And that just having a role model to look up to, but also having just a brother who just introduces you to the game and his friends, and you're out there playing with, probably pond hockey forever, deep into the night with older players. That just really accelerates your growth. And I'll never forget the first time I interviewed Peter, because it was such a cool moment. Look, not all the Caps invited me to their Stanley Cup parties, but TJ Oshie did, and Tom Wilson did. And going to the North Toronto Arena, that's what it was called, very close to Tom's childhood home, there was a poster of Eric Lindros and Tom Wilson. Those are the two like NHL stars that came out of that rink. So that was a really cool memory. So it was nice to catch up with Peter again.